Week 26 in Germany. Let's get it going.
So I went to all new places last week that I didn't have time to show you guys in the video. So we're going to go do that right now. So let's just go right on over to the map. And let's see, so we went down to Reutlingen and Stuttgart, which I've, already been to. Went up to Frankfurt, which, I've already been to. But the new one is right here, which is where Point Alpha was and where the old East German border. So we're going to go, I've already marked that. Yeah. So here's how the map is looking so far.
So now on to this week's stuff. Last Friday I came down from Frankfurt on the train. Nothing really going on there. And then made my video again. Nothing really going on there. Kept it quiet Friday night. Saturday is when Mike Haupt came into town. He wanted to do a little visiting of Saarbrücken. I think he got a little bit jealous because I brought Ryan a Bruch beer in Frankfurt, and I didn't bring him one, so he had to come down and get a few of those. But also, shockingly enough, we went geocaching. There was one over by that building over there, and then we found this side of the building with some pretty cool art stuff.
What are you doing?
Here I am logging a cache underneath this bridge. Mike's getting great footage. Good job, Mike, with the camera work. But can you commentate?
What do we got here? Nice bridge, beautiful scenery. Mike McLafferty, geocaching.
Put my cash back, baby.
But sadly, he could not get my last name right. It's McLafferty! That evening, Mike and I met up with Thad at Old Murphy's. There was this guy here playing his guitar, and Mike's #1 goal for the night was to play the tambourine, and he finally got to. Man, look at him rocking that tambourine, dude. Go on, get yourself some, son! Woo! So yeah, Saturday night was pretty good. Like, as we were leaving, the guy started playing Everlong, and Mike and I were like walking up the stairs, stopped, looked at each other, turned around, went back downstairs, and listened to the guy play. It's my favorite song, but unfortunately, I recorded it, and the files did not keep very well, so we're gonna have to figure something out. But there's gonna be some Everlong in this episode. So as we continue to hear Mike's glorious tambourine playing in the background, we're gonna continue on with this week. Sunday, Mike and I got up, fashionably late. Mike hadn't slept in, nor had I, for quite some time, being the whole week in Frankfurt last week. Then we went out to the Totenbrücke, where I went a couple of weeks ago for geocaching, and I couldn't find this one cache, so Mike and I were going to kind of tag team this thing and find this cache. We were out there for probably a half an hour, the two of us, and we still couldn't find it, so I think some muggle took it, probably. Monday, there wasn't a lot going on. I, continued to apply for internships. It was a pretty productive day. I went to volunteering that night, but no one was, there, so I just left, went home. I got my Shine sign, though, the piece of paper that I need. Tuesday was actually a pretty exciting day. After class, we met up at the Deutsch-Amerikanische Institut, which is the German-American Institute, for those of you who don't speak German. I got an email from this lady that works there that wanted to meet up with us and kind of explain what they do and yada yada yada. It was nice talking to some Americans. There was another German guy that I met back in September at the NSA discussion panel thing, if you guys remember me talking about that. They just talked about what they did and stuff, and how there's this opportunity for us if we wanted to volunteer, even though our volunteer hours are supposed to be done this week. This would have been helpful back in August or September. But that's what we told them. We're like, hey, next year, get your stuff together a little bit earlier, and you'll get some people wanting to do stuff. So I think it was very helpful. We talked about different events that they put on around Saarbrücken. They have film nights, and guest speakers come in that talk about American topics, but usually they're in German, to kind of get the two cultures working together a little bit more. So it was nice talking to them. It was really informative. Got a big old packet of stuff to read and learn about. And then later that night we went to the Saarbrücken Galerie, where there was a professor from the University of Michigan who was giving a speech on sports.
Am 1. Januar dieses Jahres vor 105.000 plus Zuschauern.
Which is right up my alley. He was actually fluent in German. He was born in Romania, but then moved to the US when he was a kid, but then he studied in Vienna, so he's fluent in English, fluent in German, and he was talking about sports in the, not necessarily just the history, but the upbringing and like how they came to be, and like a more social, culturalistic, all these big words I don't know the meaning of, kind of a way. So it wasn't just like, oh yeah, back in yada 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 year, this, you know, happened and stuff. So it was actually really, really interesting. No one else wanted to go with me, and then I convinced Charlie, Thad, and, you know, didn't want to go, and I convinced them. They're both, well, at least Charlie was. Charlie was like, oh man, that was so great, and I loved it and stuff. So, doing my part. But no, it was really, really interesting. Then yesterday we had a kind of end of the university portion dinner for our PP peelers in Saarbrücken. We met up at Alex's house, and it was all the PP peelers that live in Saarland. His mom cooked, and I guess, you know, we kind of helped. I skinned some potatoes, so I did my part, and I drank some beer, which is also important. And it was really good food. I forget what it's called. It was like typical Saarlandish stuff. It had like potatoes and like the white sauce with bacon, and, you know, typical stuff. It was really, really good food. There were some other friends of Alex's family that were there, and they were really cool to talk to. And yeah, it was a really, really fun evening. It lasted kind of late. I had to like walk to the S-Bahn pretty much, and then walk home from the S-Bahn. So I did a lot of walking last night to work off all that delicious food. And today has been an interesting day as well. I haven't done anything, but there's a lot of stuff happening. So today I have not only sent out a mass amount of emails to different kind of people, both regarding internships and just other stuff in general, but I also get a call back from Bosch Rexroth about a interview that they want to do next Friday. So I have an interview next Friday. And also I got an email from my tutor today saying that there is a race team just down the street from where I live that would be interested in at least seeing what I can do and maybe hiring me on as an intern. However, they're going to Australia for 2 weeks tomorrow, so I've been kind of like scrambling to get stuff together and sent out to them to see if we can kind of get this thing going faster. I don't know, maybe I might have an interview in like 20 minutes or something. I have no idea. So, exciting stuff coming through. I've been talking to other the guys at John Deere, and I've been talking to someone at Mercedes, so hopefully soon I will have an internship. Unfortunately, still don't have one yet. But anyway, that's all I got for now. Till next week, peace.